Alright then, thanks for clicking on me. Today we're talking about the first paper in our Geometric Unity series, Geometric Unity 1, from Heuristic Proposal to Testable Framework. It's where we add structure to the bundle picture to make it precise and usable. First, credit where it's due. Eric Weinstein drew a bold map he called Geometric Unity. He framed it with two spaces. Downstairs is ordinary spacetime, which he would call X. Upstairs is a bigger geometric arena sitting over every point of X, a bundle he calls Y. Please understand that most of his ideas came through talks and notes rather than a single refereed monograph, so there wasn't a one-stop paper trail. Our job in this series has been to pick up those threads, make the missing definitions precise, and turn the blueprint into something you can audit and test. No chest thumping, but no false modesty either. We did the graft to make the thing runnable. Now for an intuitive feel of GU tied to Eric's own terms. Picture X, the base manifold. That's our 4D world of measurements. Lying over every point of X is a fiber of extra structure. All those fibers together make the bundle Y. Think of Y as the full workshop, every tool, part, and symmetry laid out cleanly, while X is the specific building you live in. GU's philosophy is, do the careful bookkeeping upstairs on Y, where the symmetries are tidy and nothing's hidden, then restrict to what we actually observe downstairs on X by picking the right section/embedding of X into Y. In other words, compute in the workshop, then roll the finished kit down to the house. If two teams start from the same workshop plan on Y, they should build the same house on X. No faff, no mystery, no hidden knobs. That brings us back to paper number 1, the first rigid step from idea to framework. So let's walk through it, shall we? First, we discuss what Weinstein calls the Shiab Pairing, the unique measuring stick on Y. Upstairs on the bundle, you need a way to turn the geometric objects into honest scalars without breaking the symmetries GU cares about. We show there's a unique local pairing, Eric calls it Shiab, that does this job on Y. Once that's fixed, the relative signs and weights in the action aren't guesswork. You've set the ruler. Everyone measures the same length. Second, we fix the right invariant building blocks on Y so the symmetry behaves. Ordinary curvature and torsion aren't quite fit for GU's larger symmetry on the bundle. We construct two corrected objects on Y, an invariant curvature and an augmented torsion, that cancel the wobbly gauge shift bits and transform cleanly. Here's an analogy. We add the Wii counterweights so the spirit level reads true no matter how you tilt the frame. Do it upstairs on Y, and when you carry the parts down to X, nothing goes sideways. Third, we prove projection variation commutes, so there's no ambiguity going from Y to X. Here's the housekeeping theorem that keeps everyone honest. You can either vary the action upstairs on Y and then pull back to X, or pull back the action to X first and then vary. You get the same equations of motion up to boundary terms we classify and control. Fourth, we produce clean 4D physics on X, the induced downstairs theory. When you restrict to the observation slice X, torsion-free background, you recover the familiar healthy pieces, Einstein-Hilbert for gravity, Yang-Mills for gauge fields, and Dirac for matter, with the correct signs and no daft kinetic mixings that would make the EFT misbehave. One special guest remains, an axial torsion mode that doesn't propagate. You can eliminate it algebraically, and what it leaves downstairs on X is a repulsive four-fermion contact with a fixed positive sign. That sign isn't decoration, it's a falsifier. If experiments at the matching scale demanded the opposite sign, this GU completion would be wrong. No hedging. Fifth, we show a structural cosmology output that's bounce-ready. And no, that's not hype. In homogeneous, isotropic settings, that axial contact behaves like a negative stiff component whose energy density scales as the scale factor to the power -6. As the universe shrinks, this term grows fast enough to set a bounce criterion, a neat, model-agnostic way to trade a singular crunch for a smooth handbrake turn into expansion. We're not claiming a full cosmology here. We're saying paper number 1 delivers a sound, structural ingredient you can actually test in data. Why this matters, in Eric's own upstairs-downstairs terms. GU lives or dies on whether computations on Y, the bundle, give unambiguous, reproducible physics on X, our observation slice. Paper number 1 locks that down. The unique pairing on Y, the symmetry true blocks on Y, and the proof that order doesn't matter when you pass from Y to X. That's the spine you need before adding fancier muscles. Where we're heading next, a wee peek at GU number 2. The second paper takes the downstairs slice X and puts matter on it properly. Concretely, we embed a chiral, standard model-like family on X, fix the conventions and normalizations, and close anomalies so nothing leaks. Every choice is written so a machine can audit it line by line. In the workshop analogy, paper number 1 welded the frame to code, GU2 wires the building so the lights come on, and the fuse box is labeled in plain English. Same upstairs-downstairs story, just now the occupants, fermions, charges, gauge reps, move in and behave. That's enough for one sitting. Eric gave us the bundle picture, y over x, and the courage to try it. We've taken that map and bit by bit turned it into definitions, proofs, and testable outputs you can rerun. Next time we'll show how the matter content slots in without breaking the rules we've just nailed down. In the meantime, give the link a wee click and download the paper on Zenodo. We'd love to hear what's going on in your noodle. Cheers!